You are 25 years old. You make $52,000 a year as a marketing coordinator at a mid-sized tech company in Charlotte, North Carolina. After taxes, you take home $3,400 a month. Rent is $1,350. Car payment is $340. Insurance, phone, utilities, another $380. You pay your bills. You are not in debt. You feel like you are doing fine. You do not have a budget. You have never had one. You check your bank account when it feels low and adjust by eating at home for a few days. You call this being responsible. You have $1,330 left each month after fixed expenses. You do not know where most of it goes. You never have. $187 a month on DoorDash. $64 on subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. $220 on Amazon orders that felt necessary at 11 p.m. but sit unopened by the door. $140 on drinks and dinners you cannot remember. That is $611 a month you cannot account for. $7,332 a year that simply vanishes. You do not feel it leaving. That is the problem. Your savings account has $940 in it. It has had roughly that amount for 2 years. It goes up, it comes down, it never builds. You are not saving. You are circulating. Money enters your life and exits your life at nearly the same speed. You are a pipe, not a reservoir, but you are not worried, because no one around you is doing any better. Your coworkers live the same way. Your friends live the same way. 72% of your generation lives paycheck to paycheck. When everyone is drowning at the same depth, it does not feel like drowning. It feels like swimming. Across town, someone your age earns the same salary, same city, same rent, same take-home pay. But every Sunday evening, they sit down for 30 minutes with a spreadsheet. They know exactly where every dollar went that week. Not because they enjoy it, because they understand something you do not. They follow a simple rule. 50% of take-home goes to needs: rent, food, transportation, insurance. 30% goes to wants: dining out, entertainment, clothes. 20% goes to savings and investments: $680 a month. Non-negotiable. They treat it like a bill. Because it is. It is a bill they pay to their future self. They opened a Roth IRA 8 months ago. They contribute $300 a month into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. They have a high-yield savings account earning 4.5% interest. Their emergency fund has $6,200 in it. They are not rich. They are not even close. But they can see the road ahead. You cannot. Then life does what life always does. It does not ask if you are ready. Your company announces layoffs. 60 positions eliminated. Yours is one of them. You are given 2 weeks of severance and a box for your desk. The HR woman says she is sorry. She is already looking at the next name on her list. This is where the 2 versions of your life crack open and never close again. Version 1. You. No budget. $940 in savings. 2 weeks of severance. That is 23 days of survival. On day 24, rent is due. You do not have it. You put $600 on a credit card, then groceries, then gas. Within 6 weeks, you have $4,200 in credit card debt at 23.72% APR. You do the math later. If you make minimum payments, you will pay $3,100 in interest alone. It will take you 3.5 years to pay it off. The stress changes you. You stop sleeping fully. You check your bank account 4 times a day, not to manage it, but to measure how far you have fallen. You skip a rent payment. Your landlord files a late notice. Your credit score drops from 680 to 594. You apply for jobs from a place of panic, not strategy. You take the first offer. $44,000. A step backward. A company you would have never chosen if you had time to choose. Version 2. The person with the budget. They have $6,200 in their emergency fund. They have no debt. Their credit score is 770. When the same layoff hits, they feel the same fear. They are human. But fear with a financial cushion is just discomfort. Fear without one is free fall. They do not apply to the first job they see. They take 2 weeks to update their resume. They research companies. They practice interviews. They negotiate. 8 weeks later, they accept an offer for $61,000. A $9,000 raise from where they started. No credit card debt. No missed rent. No credit damage. No step backward. The crisis came and went. The budget absorbed it. Now fast forward. You are both 28. Version 1, you. That $4,200 in credit card debt from the layoff became $6,800 because you kept using the card when things got tight. You are making payments, but the 23.72% interest rate means half of every payment goes to the bank, not your balance. You want to stop renting. You want to buy a home. Everybody keeps telling you that rent is throwing money away. You apply for a mortgage. The lender pulls your credit. 624. The late rent payment is still on your record. The credit card utilization is too high. You are denied. Not rejected for being irresponsible. Rejected for never having a system. You go home. You keep renting at $1,400 now because rent went up. You will spend $16,800 this year on someone else's mortgage. You will build zero equity. Zero. Version 2 is also 28. They have $48,000 across their savings, their Roth IRA, and a taxable brokerage account. Their credit score is 774. They put 5% down on a $280,000 home. Monthly mortgage, $1,680, including taxes and insurance. More than their old rent. But every payment builds equity. Every payment is partial ownership. They are no longer paying someone else's future. They are building their own. The math begins to separate these two lives in ways that are no longer recoverable by effort alone. At 28, version 1 has a negative net worth. $6,800 in debt. $2,100 in savings. No investments. No assets. Version 2 has $48,000 in assets and a home appreciating at 3 to 4% annually. The gap is $53,000. It took 3 years to open. It will take a decade to feel the full weight. You are both 30 now. Version 1 is still renting. Still carrying $3,400 in credit card debt, less than before, but it lingers like a low fever that never fully breaks. They have started a 401k. They contribute 3% because HR told them to. They have $4,800 in it. They still do not have a budget. They have an app now. They opened it 3 times in January. It is March. Version 2 is 30, with $72,000 in their Roth IRA and brokerage combined. Their home is now worth $310,000. They owe $258,000. That is $52,000 in equity. Their 401k has $28,000. They max out their Roth IRA contribution every year, $7,000. They increased their 401k contribution to 10% after their last raise. They still budget every Sunday. It still takes 30 minutes. You are both 35. This is where the story stops being about budgeting and starts being about what budgeting made possible. Version 1. $14,000 in savings. $9,200 in total debt. Credit card and a personal loan they took to consolidate the credit card. No investments outside of a $12,000 401k in a target date fund they have never looked at. They rent a 1-bedroom apartment for $1,550 a month. Their net worth is roughly $16,800. They are 35 years old, and they have less financial security than they did at 22. Version 2. Home equity, $78,000. Roth IRA, $112,000. Brokerage account, $34,000. 401k, $58,000. Emergency fund, $15,000. Zero debt. Total net worth, $297,000. They are 35 years old. Same starting salary. Same city. Same economy. Same job market. The only difference, one of them knew where their money went. The other one hoped for the best. The gap between these two lives is $280,000. That number will double by 40. It will triple by 45. Because wealth does not grow in a straight line. It compounds. And so does the absence of it. The money version one lost to interest payments, to overdraft fees, to impulse purchases, to the $611 a month they could not account for. That money did not disappear. It compounded in someone else's pocket. That $611 a month. The DoorDash, the subscriptions, the late-night Amazon orders. If version 1 had tracked it, cut it in half, and invested $300 a month starting at 25, at an average return of 8%. By 35, that is $54,000. By 45, that is $176,000. By 55, that is $489,000. By 65, that is $1.2 million. Not from a raise, not from a promotion, not from a side hustle. From knowing where $300 was going and redirecting it. Budgeting is not about restriction. That is the lie you were told. That it is about saying no, about living small, about deprivation. Budgeting is about sight. It is the difference between driving at night with your headlights on and driving at night with them off. The road is the same. The car is the same. The destination is the same. One of you can see what is coming. Financial literacy is not taught in most American schools. Only 23 states require a personal finance course to graduate high school. The average American encounters their first credit card before they encounter their first budget. The system does not fail you by accident. An uninformed consumer is a profitable consumer. Every overdraft fee, every 23% interest rate, every extended warranty, every buy now, pay later installment plan. These are products designed for people who do not track where their money goes. The version of you without a budget is not lazy. They are not stupid. They are not irresponsible. They are uninformed. And there is a trillion-dollar industry built on keeping them that way. $1.27 trillion in credit card debt in this country right now. That is not a failure of character. That is a failure of information. The spreadsheet is free. The knowledge is free. The 30 minutes every Sunday is free. The high-yield savings account is free to open. The Roth IRA has no minimum at most brokerages. The S&P 500 index fund costs 0.03% in fees. Everything you need to become version 2 is available right now, tonight, on the same device you are watching this on. Somewhere right now, a 25-year-old in Charlotte, or Columbus, or Chicago, or Boise is checking their bank account and seeing a number they do not understand. Not because the math is hard, because they have never been shown how to look. They will close the app. They will order dinner on their phone. They will feel a small weight they cannot name. That weight has a name. It is called financial blindness, and it compounds just as fast as knowledge does, only in the opposite direction. The difference between your future without budgeting and your future with it is not measured in discipline. It is measured in decades, in equity, in options, in the ability to absorb a crisis without it rewriting your entire life. One version of you will spend 40 years reacting to money. The other will spend 40 years directing it. The spreadsheet is waiting. It has always been waiting. The only question is whether you open it tonight or whether you spend another year driving in the dark. $52,000 a year, $3,400 a month, 30 minutes a week. That is all it takes to change every financial outcome for the rest of your life. Not more money, not a better job, not a lucky break, just awareness, just a spreadsheet, just the decision to finally see where it all goes. The budget is not the sacrifice. The budget is the exit. Start tonight.